Hello and welcome to Dreamland Margate, or as it is at Halloween, it's Screamland. And here I am, joined by David and Georgie, and we're going to talk a little bit about the attractions here and just the overall event in general. So yes, welcome to Theme Park Worldwide.
Thank you.
And yeah, it's great to have you here on the channel, just to chat a little bit about the mazes. Obviously, it's a big year for Screamland because you've got 7 different attractions. And yeah, just a little bit about the event. When did it start, and how much has it grown over the past few years?
So Screamland started in 2015.
Yep.
And has been on every single year since. This is now our 4th year. And this year is kind of bigger, better, scarier than ever. With 7 mazes, we've got our rides in operation, which are looking great. It's kind of grown and gone from strength to strength every year since 2015, basically.
That's great.
Yeah.
And obviously we were here for that 2015 event, and the park itself has developed so much. Like we were saying this in the vlog earlier on, basically this whole section of the park was pretty much nothing, was it? And it's now a proper theme park. All the flooring's done out. You've got all the new rides from Zamperla that Andrew took us around earlier in the year and did a really good tour around those. So check that video out. But yeah, the park itself looks great. And let's move on to the scare attractions then. Of course, these guys have got to be a little bit crazy to come up with some of the ideas and stuff here. So let's just have a bit of a talk about the attractions and sort of the stories behind them. And starting off with Festino's.
Yeah, Festino's Funhouse.
Yes.
So you know a bit about Festino's from other years.
Yeah, historically Festino started as a funhouse. It was fairly fun, but we wanted to ramp up the fun factor this year. So it does include a ball pit.
We love
and
that.
other
The ball
really
pit's amazing.
highly themed rooms that are memorable and people will want to come back to and want to see develop again next year. So
yeah, it's not your sort of cliche clown maze, which I like.
Yeah,
it's a fun house more than a circus.
Yeah, and Festino is a character that's collected clowns from all over the world and brought them all together to kind of showcase here in his funhouse. So there's kind of a collection of various different types of clowns, and Georgie spent a lot of time looking at different clowns and what kind of clowns would be there and stuff like that. And then obviously you've got Festino himself, who's a bit of a he's not quite sinister, but he's not quite normal either.
We loved the character with the big like mask head. Like, when we saw that, like, we've done a lot of Halloween stuff this year, not seen anything quite like that.
Yeah, that was quite interesting.
That's quite creepy.
Yeah. It was based on, you get a lot of the old advertising and they'd wear really odd giant heads in those black and white pictures. If anyone's interested in history and historical things like that, like I am, you would know things like that are really creepy. And I didn't want to go down the route of scary clown face with the big classic that's a bit overdone. I just wanted to go classic clowns. Normally painted faces, not trying to be really scary, because I think that's scary in itself.
I think one of the best things about Festino's is the laughter. It's not even just creepy clown laugh, there's just constantly different laughter going on that really almost makes you think that you should be enjoying yourself and
I certainly felt that. Like, I don't normally get scared at all in clown mazes, but we had some really good jump scares in that as well. But no, a really good fun attraction. Of course, next to that, we may as well go in line of all the different attractions, and we may as well just talk a little bit about that. So is there a reason why the mazes are all together this year? Is that
I think it was a decision more that we wanted to utilise the space that we've got, because we have got such a great landscape, and now, like you said, the park's grown, the park's changed so much in such a short amount of time that we wanted to really showcase that. So we put them up here where we've got the space, and we can showcase not only the mazes, but we can showcase our new rides that have only come in this year, because we've got 9 new rides, and on top of that they look amazing at night time.
They look great.
So we
were
kind of
amazing.
like, let's bring it all together to make Screamland kind of better than it's ever been. So it's actually ended up all kind of in a row.
There you go. Why not? And it's obviously easier for the guests as well, because you can see all your mazes are there in front of you, straight into each one.
Works easily.
So Dead and Breakfast. Now we absolutely love that. Obviously we did that in 2015 when it was in the old cinema building. It was more a bigger attraction then to what it is now. And obviously it's merged in with the Tunnels
of Terror.
Tunnels of Terror, that's the one. So much to remember. There's that much to see at Screamland. It's crazy. Tunnels of Terror and that are the same sort of in the same tent, aren't they?
Yes.
So obviously each attraction is quite short. Is there any reason why they're a bit shorter, or?
We wanted to go much more for quality. Quality over quantity, and in my experience, scare mazes, when you drag things out, you lose a bit of that scare element. So I think we were really kind of condensing our scare into these marquees and these spaces, which it's interesting when you see the actual space and how people weave in and out of it. And I think Dead and Breakfast Tunnel of Terror is a perfect example, because actually you feel like you're walking down really, really long corridors, and they're really kind of like long journeys, and then you've got the second half, Tunnel of Terror, where it's all very windy and tunnels. And
it's well connected with the big squeeze, isn't it?
Yeah, so the claustrophobia works really well, and I think some people see that as the very clear definition between the two. Some people think they feed into each other very well, which is quite nice.
The stories do feed into each other. They're in the same world, which is why they're together. But we wanted something short and sharp and sweet and punchy, which I think it definitely packs a punch.
It does. I think tunnels are really scary, especially.
And I think Dead and Breakfast we've done every single year.
Yeah.
For Screamland, so it was a matter of bringing that back, but doing it to its best ability, as well as also bringing new elements to it, which a lot of things. And Fagash Lil's returned.
I love how the unique themes as well. Like, where else can you go into a scare maze where it's based on like a bed and breakfast? I love that.
Oh, it's very, it fits very much in with Margate.
And that leads on to the next attraction, which is just next door, which is you're on a boat, aren't you? In that one, which is brilliant. Like, I would probably say that's my personal favourite. Is it the first year of that, or
Mary Decomposed his first year. I think we had a lot more fun than we thought we'd have with that one when it was being built and designed.
The theming is gorgeous.
Yeah, so that was all Georgie and her guys. And
wow, you've done a great job.
Thank you.
And I said this to these before we got the camera rolling, but obviously you're in marquees, you can't tell that you're in marquees, and that's really important. Like, you know, we're always looking up and down and seeing what's around. And for me to get fully immersed in an attraction, if I look up and see, you know, or like a lighting rig or see the top of a marquee, it just makes you feel a bit like, oh, I'm just in a tent.
Ruin the illusion.
Whereas with these, none of them, the illusion is broke.
Oh, yeah.
None of them. Like, and I really liked that. But the theming, like all the lampshades and everything, it's like, hey, what's the backstory with that then? So
it's an old wreck that's been out at sea and has been dredged up, and some weird goings on happening inside. It's kind of a cross between the T word,
which we're not affiliated with,
and Ghost Ship. So people will get the references, and you're supposed to get the references so that you feel
it's not like directly there.
It's a world that you almost understand when you're in.
We like the seaweed and stuff in there, laying down. You know, some really good scares.
I can say as well that honestly, some of the costumes have got real seaweed on them.
Yeah, they do.
Oh wow, there you go. Fascinating fact. You heard it here first. There you go.
I think what was really nice about when we were doing the character development is a lot of the characters are in different kind of time eras, and some of them know that they're dead, some of them don't know they're dead, some of them are stuck in a repetitive cycle of that moment before they died, and it's all a bit. Some of the storylines are a bit heartbreaking. When we were
you can feel that walking through.
It's very like forlorn.
Quite an emotional experience. I like that though.
It's a bit of a different maze as well. It's not your typical just jump scare. It's all a bit.
I love a bit of story-based stuff.
Wailing. It's much more narrative, which I think with the setting and with the theming,
it fits. Amazing. Like there's some scare events where there's a bit too much narrative, and there's others where there's just scares and no story. So it's really nice. You've got a good mix here, which is great. Which leads me on to the next attraction that I also absolutely loved. Another one of my favourites, the sleep experiment. Dreamland sleep experiment. Now which one of you came up with that? Because that's crazy.
Me.
Really?
It's based on an urban legend.
Yeah.
And I was like, that would be great in a scare maze, but I'm also very wary. I don't want to base mazes on mental illness because I don't think that that's right in myself. So it's not based around anything like that. It's people that have been tested on and deprived of something, and then it's made them almost inhuman.
It takes a dark turn the further you go through. Like at the start, you're greeted with a desk with the lady, and she's not like covered in blood or anything. No. But then as you go through the attraction, I noticed the costumes are getting more darker, and like, oh my god, what is happening in this test facility?
There was a lot of thought into that kind of transition and how you see it as it goes through. And I think it kind of escalated a bit beyond what we ever thought it was going to be. We always kind of knew that it was going to have this scary element, and it was going to be creepy, and it was going to have these really twisted characters. And I think then when we put it into practice, we were like, oh god, what have we created?
It's the monstrous thing. They turn into monsters. It's not basing it on mental illness and what actually happens, and making entertainment out of something that shouldn't be entertainment.
And I think
it's more of a Frankenstein story.
I think as well, it's quite interesting because everyone's had that time when they've not slept for a long time, and they start to get the shakes, or your senses become a bit blurry, sort of thing. I think this is that, but to the fullest extent, where you are just, if you push that so far that people have just completely turned into something that isn't any mirror of what they were.
That's really good. You can tell how passionate you guys are about the concept and making sure it all looks right.
With them.
I can imagine, like, and it's such a big job as well. Like, how long did it take to build all the attractions?
That would be.
Very long.
No, it wasn't actually very long. It all
3
happened very quickly.
weeks.
Yeah, 3 weeks in total.
Might have been too long.
And that's a lot, like, to fill all them marquees and heavily theme them. It's
We
a
had
big
our
job.
actors before we had our mazes. So the actors were hired and came in and they auditioned, and then we ran audition dates and they still hadn't even seen their mazes. So I think they were so good before they even got to the mazes, and they stepped in the mazes and everything just went to the end.
The actor quality is great.
Yeah, like, I think we're really proud of the group of actors we've got this year. They've been phenomenal.
Yeah, they are great, and all the mazes.
Yeah,
are
I think
really
we've
good
really
actors.
tried to get them to believe that each maze is separate and in a different world, and they're really getting it. And it's different types of scare and different narratives, and it's worked.
That's really good.
Nice.
No, it really comes across. Moving on then down to the final maze at this end in the marquee, which is of course Punch and Judy.
Punch and Judy horror show.
Down there, the horror show. So what's the sort of, obviously I love the start of that where you go in and obviously you've got the Punch and Judy stand. And he's quite crazy, the guy at the start.
Yeah, a bit,
which I really like. And of course that pulls forward and you enter into the maze. But is this sort of a much of a backstory to it, or are you in this Punch and Judy show?
I think he's sort of luring people into his show and tricking them to become part of his show.
I think there's a little bit more magic to him than you see on the surface, isn't there? Like he's a bit more to him, and I think it plays on a fear that I think everyone might have had at some point, that their toys and puppets might
come
have
alive.
a life outside of the bedroom, sort of thing. Which
it was really eerie in there, like the soundtrack and everything was really quite, not so much jump scares, more playing on the mind. A lot of people don't like dolls, and like you say, coming alive and stuff, you know. But I enjoyed that aspect of it. Yeah, it's certainly another very different maze. Like, I can't say I've ever done one thing on Punch and Judy.
I don't think I've ever heard of one. That's your twisted mind.
I think I just wanted something different. I didn't want them to be too similar, and I was like, that's not similar to anything else we're doing. So
and that's great. And the scare's getting big in this country. Like, there's so many scare events. I mean, this year on Theme Park Worldwide, we're doing 85 scare mazes. I mean, I think these are like in the 70s now. We're nearly done them. We're nearly at the end. A couple of events to go.
I do think Punch and Judy, we are a seaside town, so it fits. It makes a lot of sense.
Tunnels of Terror has a smuggling underroute and the Blitz route, because obviously it was bombed here during the war. Also, Mary Decomposed, obviously, we're by the sea, we're by the Goodwin Sands, where there's been loads of accidents. So I've tried to tie everything in, so it really
in locally.
It's Margate.
Yeah,
like,
we're not just a scare attraction.
It's a very proud park, and it's nice how you incorporate the local stories.
We've got so much history here that we're like, well,
we don't need to use anybody else's.
Yeah, we don't need to use anyone else's.
There you go, and that's great. And of course, the final attraction, which is located in the maze, which is in the opening the daytime. I mean, obviously with that, there's not really much theming and stuff what gets brought into it, but it's eerie.
Oh
because you can see that the actor. What is the actor trying to be, a demon of some form, or
so they're a shadow creature?
A shadow creature.
Yeah, so I think
it's the red eyes.
I think it kind of, that one plays on fears you don't know you had. I think it's kind of that idea that horrible moment where you look in a mirror and as you turn away, does your reflection turn with you? It's that sort of like, and it's very much a little bit of seeping into a different realm, and these characters are part of that. And I think the fact that there's the mirrors, just like, no one knows how many people are in there. And we will never tell it how many people are in there. So
it's very clever.
They're always there, and they follow you, but they're also there before you get there. They're everything.
Because of how it's designed, obviously with them being a mirror maze, a labyrinth, obviously you think they're in front of you, but they're actually to the right or left, and it's really well put together. You know, it's simple but good effect.
I think our characters in there as well did a lot of work on working out how to do it, didn't they? How they could be sinister and creepy when they are shadow creatures, and they're playing to audiences that could be in a completely different direction to where they're playing to, so it's a bit of a tricky one for them, but it seems to have paid off.
Yeah, they do a great job, but like, it's really great to know a bit of the backstories and everything behind them, because sometimes when you're walking through and taking everything in, it's quite hard to take everything in, the backstory wise, and think, oh, why is that there and stuff. I love the little details, and that's what I think you've really got well in these attractions. The detail, there's so much to see.
A lot of effort into the smaller details, I think.
And the lighting's great inside the attractions. I mean, I love technical side of thing. So the lighting's good, and also every attraction I noticed has got a smell pod or different smells. I love that.
Important, really important.
Yeah, I think that's something that we really kind of invested, because otherwise it's just we need it all to be a sensory thing. It needs to not just be there's someone there who is scary, they have scared me.
Really adds to the
attraction. Scare, the theming, the sounds, the smells.
I love the smell of the sweets inside.
Yeah,
so good,
the sweets, all the jelly babies.
It's so saccharine that you're like, it's almost consuming. And
it brings you in, like really good. But well, it's great to chat to you guys about it all. Thank you very much. And I believe we're going to have a little look round, a little bit behind the scenes look before we wrap up this little video. Of course, we've done a separate vlog from tonight as well, where we take you inside the mazes and share our reviews as well, so make sure you check that out. And of course, like we've mentioned in this video, there's all the new rides here at Dreamland, so check out our video from the summer where we talk all about the rides. We meet with Andrew from Technical Services. He tells a bit about their investments with Zamperla this year and everything what the park's done. It's great to chat to you. Let's go and have a little behind the scenes look at some of the mazes.
Shows how much of a good job you've done of disguising.
Margate side. I think what works really well, so like I said, with the kind of weaving in and out and how we build the mazes so they fit inside, is that we've done it so that obviously this is a perfect example where there's more than one scare point. Yeah. So we've really tried to focus on how we can utilise our actors better in the spaces they're given. Also each actor has done kind of group rehearsals for the whole cast, and we've had rehearsals for the mazes, and we've had rehearsals for their characters. Kind of been a bit exhaustive.
I love it, it's great.
That's really hard. He'll usually then follow up behind the crew, which is like really terrifying. And it really terrifies me.
Yeah, I think that gun is such a good effect as well, because you feel the pressure and it's like pellets almost of the air, and you really do feel it, and the reaction from it is
it's certainly got me.
It's incredible.
You get it again, and
I don't think
anyone's
gone through here and not had that moment of like, oh god, this is a bit intense. So it works really well. Brilliant. It's really good. So obviously that empowers the claustrophobia. We've got big vent holes here that help us to regulate the flow from it. So there's obviously quite a lot of air going in and quite a lot of air coming out.
Yeah, you can feel it.
Yeah, it's quite good. Here's one of our drop hatches, so there's guests on the other side, but they obviously are quite useful. I would open it, but the high likelihood is there's going to be a guest on the other side.
It's so simple but effective.
It's so simple, but it does so much of the work for you, because when it drops, it makes such a loud bang. You feel it in the floor, you feel it in the walls, and then all the actor has to do is make a noise with it, and it works perfectly.
I love it.
So we've got quite a lot of really bespoke kind of tech that's doing so many favours for us, but we don't want to rely on it, so we don't put it everywhere. We're really kind of focused on it is an actor-led event entirely.
I like how there's not really animatronics or anything.
Yeah, we kind of try to keep away from that. We use these effects, but these aren't the star of the attraction. Yeah. We're really kind of, it's all about creating these different worlds, like I said earlier, and really having that world that you enter where you'll become part of it, and it's completely horrifying. Yeah, quite good effects.
Fascinating to see.
Very windy back here.
There we go. Cool.
How interesting was that, to go behind the scenes on those couple of mazes and also just hear about the backstory to their attractions here?
Yeah, it's really nice to see.
Yeah, like I love how they're based on like local things as well.
Yeah, it's not like cliche sort of mazes. They're all unique things, which is really good.
Yeah, and obviously like they were saying about the clown maze, Festinos, it's more of a fun house than it is a circus, which is great. I love knowing about the sleep experiment and all that, the backstories to it. Yeah, a big thank you to Dreamland for having us down here, and of course meeting up with us there to discuss about the mazes, and the fact that it took them around 3 weeks to put all this together, I think it's amazing. Like when you think you've got 6 marquees back there with so much stuff packed into them, it is crazy. And these mazes are so well designed, as we were talking about there on camera, with not being able to see the roofs and things. Yeah, really good. And going into the behind the scenes that we had as well, the spark walls that are electricity, but normally I thought that if you touched it or the actor touched it, you get a shock. Apparently you get nothing. Yeah, how fascinating is that? They say it's magic how it works, so we'll leave that there. But in terms of all the actors and that, they got around, what, 60 actors here across all the mazes, and we learned so much fascinating stuff. And the fact that this event only started in 2015,
it's amazing to think
4 years, they've got 7 mazes. Of course, I'd say that, you know, they've got 5 really good solid attractions. Then of course you've got the maze, the mirror maze that we love as well, which is still a bit different. And then of course you've got the one where it's 2 attractions joined in together. And yeah, overall really enjoyed that. And of course check out our main vlog where we've got more in maze footage. We talk about our reviews about each attraction and also ride some of the attractions here at Dreamland in the dark as well. So check out that video. It's now online here on Theme Park Worldwide from Screamland. Thank you very much for watching this behind the scenes video, and thanks to the park. That means it's time to cue those credits. See you soon.